He's the first paraplegic to walk when wired to a computer. The computer chip that's now surgically implanted in his belly gives him the mobility to stand up and step out the door, unplugged and unrestrained, in tonight's unbelievable update.
Ripley's viewers are sure to remember Marc Merget, a man confined to a wheelchair, until doctors in a revolutionary medical breakthrough hooked him up to a powerful computer that allowed him to walk for the first time in 10 years.
Woo! How you doing?
Now, in this unbelievable update, this real-life cyborg of a man is taking this futuristic technology to the next level. No longer tied down to a bulky hard drive, a laptop version of this marvelous new machine promises Marc even greater mobility, even the potential to leave his house on his own 2 feet.
Et je remercie ma bonne étoile de m'y aider.
Marc emerged from a devastating car accident in 1990 with a severed spinal cord. Tragically, his ability to control or even feel his legs was completely gone. Marc's active lifestyle had come to an abrupt halt. Still, this brave teacher eventually got back to work, married, and even raised a family. Then came the day Marc heard about Professor Pierre Robichon, a pioneer whose team of spinal cord specialists had devised a complex fusion of man and machine that might allow Marc to walk unassisted. Marc instantly volunteered to be the first person to undergo the procedure. During a grueling 14-hour operation, a microchip with over 50,000 transistors was implanted in his abdomen. Dozens of electrodes were wired directly into the muscles and nerves in Marc's legs. Then, complicated computer programs were loaded in. These controlled the electronic signals sent to the implant, which in turn successfully drove Marc's legs to move. Amazingly, a man once considered a complete paraplegic was standing on his own 2 feet. And though shaky, his small steps were historic, qualifying him as the world's first truly bionic man. But today, with new technologies and components constantly shrinking in size, Professor Robichon is announcing yet another potential breakthrough. Instead of using technicians and bulky computers, the professor will attempt to make Marc's electronics work by using a small and very portable laptop model, which Marc can operate himself. For Marc, it promises freedom to walk completely unplugged and untethered. Over the course of a year, Marc intensely studies Professor Robichon's programs. Amazingly, with the team's help, he learns to electronically command his legs to move.
Good.
In time, he transfers his command codes to a memory box, which attaches directly to his walker.
Je ne suis plus relié à l'ordinateur puisque toute la programmation est dans ma memory box en fait.
This now portable memory box will essentially function as Marc's second brain, telling his legs when and how to move. Finally, after 12 months of therapy, Marc can now demonstrate his ability to walk completely on his own without being plugged into a bulky computer. By simply placing the transmitter over the microchip in his abdomen, he begins. The red buttons enable his legs to contract, allowing him to stand, while the black buttons propel each leg forward. Incredibly, though his spinal column is still irreparably damaged, Marc is capable of walking across the room by himself. This man-machine hybrid is finally free to move anywhere he needs to go. A radical feat that was inconceivable at the time of his accident. It is truly a tremendous step forward in spinal cord research.
Pour moi, c'était un peu comme le premier pas sur la Lune finalement, mais avec tout ce que ça peut représenter.
Marc now has the power to do things he hasn't done for years. Most importantly, he can physically interact with his 2 kids.
C'était la première fois que je le voyais, alors c'était bien. J'étais contente, j'étais vraiment contente, quoi.
In the meantime, the professor's team continues to improve the process, opening up countless new possibilities for people with spinal cord injuries. And future versions promise electronics as small as cell phones that will give even more control to the user. One day, possibly eliminating paralysis forever and paving the way to a brand new bionic future.
Scientists predict that about 15 patients will be outfitted with an updated version of Mark's computerized walking system within the next year.